whoever needs it. So thanks for coming out.
We had overrun, and your contributions and your donations, along with other donors along the year, allowed Saber Life Foundation to place 5 or 6 dogs to families that could benefit from one of these service dogs, but that wasn't financially able to do it at that moment. Well, because of Saber Life Foundation, they were able to get their dog quicker. It's been working for them for the last year or so. But last night, a family came up from Louisiana, and we've been training their dog for about a year. And so we're going to present that dog to the family right now. If you guys want to come on up. This is a golden doodle. He is an autism service dog. And he's going to go back to Louisiana and give his family and their child a better quality of life. So let's give them a big hand. So Addie, this dog does a lot of things for her, but what she's going to demonstrate here today is a lot of times subconsciously she picks at herself to the point where she has sores all over her face, her nose, and whatnot. This dog has been trained to recognize that. She doesn't even know she's doing it when she does it, because it's just something that happens with her. So this dog is trained to recognize that, and what the dog does, it goes in, jumps up there, and reconnects her to the here and now. So the dog's way of saying, stop it. You're going to create a sore. Stop doing it. Pet me instead. So that's kind of what the dog is telling her to do. So she's going to kind of demonstrate this for us. This dog was trained last year after the last year's poker run, and we thank you guys for that. So anyway, she's going to start picking. She's, of course, obviously she's, making maintenance or her training here is not really happening, but she's going to go through the motions so the dog can recognize and do what it needs to do. There's the reconnection. We'll do it again. So that's what it does. It reconnects her. Autumn here is a chocolate lab. She's about a year old, a little over a year old now. So they have about another, 9 or 10 years of service they'll be working together. Very good. This dog's name is Hammer. He is also an autism service dog. And the dog just holds an anchor, does not move. So it doesn't matter how hard he pulls, that dog holds that anchor. So a lot of times with children with autism, you see them in shopping carts, you see them in strollers, and they have meltdowns because they lose their independence or their freedom. But being able to be on their 2 legs walking in Walmart, amusement parks, wherever that is, it decreases the meltdowns that some of these kids have because they just feel restrained all the time. The next thing that this dog does, which we typically don't practice this with a child because we never want it to turn into a game for the child, or if we did, then the child would be running away all the time. So we're going to use a different child, and we're going to send this dog to block him in a run to the highway. So we're going to pretend that the interstate is back here somewhere. If the child was to get out of that tether, or if the child just runs out of the house and heads towards the road, then they can immediately send this dog to stop him in his tracks. It's called a block. Now, what prompts the dog? This is a visual cue. A lot of times, if the dog just sees his person running, he will respond without giving the command. But for the purpose of this demo, she's going to give the command because we're not using the dog's person, we're using somebody else. But your concept ought to be the same. There it is, there it is. There it is.
Down. Wait. My name's Liz. My son Will was diagnosed with autism when he was 2.5, and we knew very early on that something, I'm gonna say different, but I'm not trying to put a label on him. We have a lot of kids in our family, and all 8 of those kids were over here, and Will was over here. So we obviously could tell, like, the no fear, no danger awareness, situational awareness, and things like that. It had gotten to the point with just the safety that we could not leave our home together as a family of 4. It was, hey Taylor, can you stop and get milk on your way home from work, or I can go when you get home from work, but it was never us go somewhere together, ever. And then I knew, I was like, we have got to have some help, because this cannot be the quality of life that I want for my son, that I provide for my son. This is not fair. So we got in touch with Tim. I then found Saber Life Foundation, gave them a call. They immediately called me back, and in 2 weeks we were signing our contract to start looking for Hammer and to get a dog for Will. We were able to come and visit Will while he was in training, or come and visit Hammer while he was in training, and they started bonding and things like that. But since Hammer has came home, we finally got rid of the stroller. Jokey, where are you at? I got rid of my stroller. I got rid of it. Anytime we went somewhere together, we always had to have Will locked up in a stroller, in a shopping cart. And when you have autism, those things are a shopping cart, the wheels turning, it's a meltdown. It's just a meltdown waiting to happen. We brought Hammer home. We started working together. And now, like, Will knows, hey, I get to walk in the store, I get to be my own person. He likes to be in control, so you'll see the little red leash on the side of the vest. He's always walking his puppy, even though I'm the one, the handling the dog. Hammer completely changed our lives as parents, as well as the life of my child that gets to go and enjoy and be a kid. That it allows him to be able to do those things that we weren't allowed to do before. So thank you guys for coming. We appreciate everybody's generosity, because without people like you guys, this wouldn't have been any way possible for my family. And we're very, very thankful.
All right, so I want to talk a little bit about anxiety and PTSD, because that's a big thing. I mean, there's a lot of people that suffer from depression, anxiety, PTSD. This next dog I'm gonna bring up is also a chocolate lab. His name is Amos. I think you guys saw him last year as well. But dogs can provide so much comfort to individuals that suffer from depression and PTSD. It's like a medication that scientists ain't never developed yet. It works so good. And people that have depression and anxiety, they swear by how these service dogs is so much better than the Xanax or the other antidepressants that they take on a daily basis. So one of the things that these dogs do is they provide deep pressure therapy or tactile stimulation. All right, so what Grace is going to demonstrate is the deep pressure therapy. And what the dog does is, when she's feeling anxious, she feels like she's getting overwhelmed, she can sit down, and this dog climbs up on top of her, and it lays on her, and it creates it releases oxytocin in the blood, which helps you calm down. So go ahead and show. So the dog's not allowed to squirm around. It's not allowed to get all antsy up there and demand more affection. It is to be calm so that she can calm down and allow her to provide whatever tactile stimulation that she needs at the time. Very good. And I'm not sure, but according to the latest data that I looked at, there are still close to 22 veterans that commit suicide every day. Whether that is in active military or retirees. So even if it's just one, that's too many. So back in 2015, I developed a technique. It's called the ship hard technique. To train a dog to maybe interrupt a suicide attempt in progress. SHIP-R stands for self-harm, interruption, prevention, and reconnection. So we call it the SHIP-R technique. Basically what happens is the veteran comes home and he feels lost, heated, depressed, really don't know how to continue on this side of the war that he was in. So basically, we train service dogs for PTSD. Now, these dogs do a lot of things for them. They give them a purpose to get up of a morning. Because with depression, you have no motivation. You don't want to get out of bed every morning. You lose your purpose and you lose your independence. These dogs provide that comfort. If they go out into public, they feel like individuals are sizing them up. We train these dogs to create a barrier, to provide tactile stimulation, just like you just saw. But in the event of a suicide attempt, you go to a place in your brain. Now, I'm just basing this on science. I've never been there, but I'm just basing it upon knowledge of the science of what happens whenever somebody gets to that level. You go to a place in your brain where you're just numb. You're completely blacked out. You may be able to walk and talk, but you're not aware of your surroundings. So basically, you have to be reconnected. So I'm thinking, if I could train these dogs to reconnect someone that's in complete and total blackout, unaware with their surroundings, just before they decide at that moment in time to take their life, if I had one split second to reconnect them, to snap them out of that blackout, would it make a difference? So I trained this technique to a serviceman 4 or 5 years ago, and it happened. He went and got a gun. The dog recognized it. The wife was in the other room. She heard the dog barking. She says whenever she went through the bedroom, he had fell to his knees and it was hugging his dog. The wife says that his life was changed forever after that. So I'm thinking, okay, so this is going to work, but it has to be a particular dog to do this. The dog has to have drive to do this. The dog's got to be able to be watching you continuously. So it takes a special kind of dog to do this. Not every dog can do this technique. But I want to demonstrate that technique to you today, and I'm going to kind of tell you what's going to happen here. This dog is going to be on this bed over here, and I'm going to have a gun in my hand. That's a fake gun. I showed you guys earlier that it was. And what the dog is going to be missing is my emotions. I'm not going to be depressed. My body language is going to look differently. But what this demo dog is going to respond to is the action of me putting that gun to my head. She's going to come in. She's going to fire like a rocket. Probably on this platform, she's probably going to slide into me because she tries to stop. She's not allowed to engage me. She's not allowed to jump on me or grab the weapon from my hand. Because if she does that, that could cause an accidental discharge. We don't want that. But I want the dog to come in and bark at me vigorously. Barking, 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 barking. To snap me out of this place that I've gone to in my head. So we're going to demonstrate that for you now. So, what is the dog telling me? Hopefully the dog is telling me, hey, stop what you're doing. I love you. Who's going to take care of me if you're gone? We can get through this together. That is what the dog is trying to tell me, because we've bonded, we become a team, we do everything together. So she doesn't want me to leave. She wants me to still be a part of the dog's life, or her life. So here's the demo. All right, so for the purpose of the demo, she knows something's fixing to happen. She's watching me. The hand is on. She knows something's going on. If I was actually having an emotional event, she would be sensing trouble, the energy, the negative energy coming from me. So the moment that I take this gun, I do this.
Here we go. Mr. Robert Moore, are we present today? We greatly appreciate everybody that's come out today and support us with helping train these dogs, get these dogs to families that are in need. We greatly appreciate y'all. Come back again next year, hit us up, and we'll get you a date of when we're coming back next year.